GameSeek was, if you've seen the tribute to GameSeek video, you know what I mean. GameSeek was on an upward trajectory. 5 months before it ended, we had the best ever traffic on the website off being going for 16 years. Now there was a problem with GameSeek that hit me in May 2017. In my personal life, something really unexpected happened, and it was bad. And it was enough to really, it wasn't just one thing, it was two serious things happened to me that I wouldn't wish on anyone, to be honest, that I had to go through. Whereas I used to work incredibly hard, I did jobs that my staff didn't do. I didn't have like a number two, probably I should have, to be honest, that would cover my backside if I didn't do my job. Now, because I used to work so much, I used to always find a way to get the job done, you know. But when I was going through personal difficulties, I wasn't working as hard. Like, I'd go from working 17 hours a day to maybe 10 hours or 9 hours. What I wasn't doing was making sure the stock was turning over quick enough. Now, we had a warehouse full of a few £1 million worth of stock. It was probably about 2 million at this time, because it had come down a bit, so I was selling some of the old stuff off. So I had loads of money anyway in the warehouse, and the business was fine. It was just I wasn't turning the stock over quick enough. Now this led to a problem just after the best Christmas of traffic, right near the end, in the new year, because a lot of businesses wanted the money, you know, for stuff that I'd bought, you know, months prior. And it wasn't easy to pay them anymore. Now this is a problem that could have been solved quite easy, and this is why it's heartbreaking, really. But this is the mistake I made. I listened to this company that I knew for about 10 years, and they gave me advice that in my opinion wasn't good advice, obviously, to send the company into a CVA, which is a company voluntary arrangement, where it just gives us more time. This is how it was sold to me, give more time to pay the suppliers. They wrote up this report saying how we'd pay the suppliers back really quickly, even though a CVA goes on for 5 years. You could see in the projections within 3 months we would have paid the majority of it off, because I had so much stock in the warehouse. All I had to do was move it to FBA, Amazon, and it would have sold through. The problems would have gone. The problem we had is there was a mess up with how it all went on, what actually happened with the CVA, because the Inland Revenue got involved and it just turned into a mess. Next minute the CVA got rejected. This is on May 2nd, I think, 2018, and on May the 3rd, the company that I was paying to advise me came out and advised me to send the company into liquidation. They said, don't send it into administration because someone will buy it. It's a national company. And we want to do the right thing, Steve, and we want to make sure you get the business back. So it was me, completely naive, and my head was messed up because of what was going on in my personal life. I listened to the advice and went along with it. And all that happened was, I literally could have told them that day, can you leave please? I wish I did, to be honest. I wish I'd said, just can you leave please, and I'll just sort out. At the time we had 2 CCJs, one for 2 grand and one for 20. That was it. Now to some people that might seem a lot, but I was getting 20 grand a day in my bank. So on a bad day, I would have eaten. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't a serious problem that couldn't have been sorted out. It's so frustrating when I look back. I could have easily have carried on GameSeek. It breaks my heart, actually. It does. It upsets me. But I've got to let it go, because otherwise I'm not going to go forward. I'm just going to be stuck in the past. Yeah, I got talked into sending it into liquidation. In my opinion, the company that advised me knew what they were going to do all along. They were just going to rip the company to pieces and sell all the parts off so they got paid for it. That's what happened. It was unfair. It was cruel. Horrible experience to go through. Feel terrible for the customers that got dragged through the end, because I had absolutely no idea this was going to happen. They told me I was getting the company back. Yeah, and everything would have just carried on. We were told that the business would just carry on in 14 days time. You just have to have a break. That's why there was no reports when the website went offline, and people were like, oh, what's up with GameSeek, why is it offline? I knew that we told Amazon what was going on, we told eBay, we said it's alright because we're going to be back up in 14 days. And we carried on logging into Amazon, for example, and doing the customer emails. And the 14 days came up. I went to the company that had organised the CVA. They said, Stephen, sign here, which was basically me signing the business over to them. And after I signed it, they said, Stephen, about your offer. Because they told me how much money to buy the company back for. Oh, Stephen, about your offer. Sorry, it's not been accepted. You can imagine how I felt. It was terrible. Terrible to do that to someone. Bastards. Absolute arseholes. What proceeded from there was I upped my offer. I think I offered them, I don't know, about 20, maybe 25% more than what even they told me that I would needed to buy the company back for. I can't remember precisely. And they still said no. And at that point I knew what I'd been pulled along. I knew that they'd just had me over. And there was no way of getting the business back, in my opinion. So that's what happened. And that was the shitstorm of it all. And yeah, that's what happened to GameSeek ultimately. Got shat on. Sad. If there's one good thing to come out of it, I'm never ever going to allow that to happen to me again. Ever. And I don't want it to happen to anyone else, but apparently it happens all the time. I've spoke to loads of people about it. There's a lot of horrible bastards out there that will take your company off you. So you've got to be careful.